Hey guys, this is ScowR. Today, or tonight, or this evening, I want to tell you, show you, or give you advice on how to motion track successfully a 3D text in Boujou and apply it to Cinema 4D. It's my first editing type tutorial on this channel. I think I've done like one in the past, but so let's get this started. As you saw from what I put in the beginning of this tutorial was the motion track that I'll be making for you guys. I'll be running it step by step. Hopefully you guys can get the gist of it. So hopefully I'll make this short because I usually talk a lot, but you guys know what's going on. So alright, so first thing you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to open up Sony Vegas. Hopefully you guys have Sony Vegas. If not, this will work. This works in After Effects, but the only thing you're going to be doing in Sony Vegas or After Effects is rendering out your recorded clip and rendering it in a JPEG or TIFF or PNG sequence. So as you see, I recorded a clip. This is me recording, attempting to record, and I finally got it. So over here at the very end, I finally got it. So I already have done this, but I'm just doing this very quick and short for you guys. Okay, so you're gonna want to cut it right where you're gonna want to start your your motion track, obviously, and then do as you always do if you're an editor or even a player that's rendering out a clip. Just disable resample and maintain aspect ratio. This you don't always have to do it. I don't know the purpose of it. It's not a big factor in editing, but for some reason when I motion track I always do that. So uncheck maintain aspect ratio, and you're going to want to crop your PBR from the black lines. I have a preset, but you guys can however you crop it out, and then just I'll cut it, say right there, split. Alright, now I'll go to render. Make sure you guys all have all the good setting. Now this is very important. You must make a separate folder that is completely empty that you can render out your image sequence into, because imagine if you saved this to the desktop and you rendered out 1,000 pictures, as this already rendered out before was 955 pictures, that being all over your desktop. Imagine that. I don't need to explain. That's why you put it in a folder. If you get what I'm talking about, that's why you put it in a folder. So you title it whatever you want, and then you select image sequence. In After Effects, it'll give you something for look at your render settings for JPEG or TIFF sequence. Doesn't matter. Same thing, and then you save. But these are all from what I did before to make that motion track, so I'm not going to bother doing that. And then you render it, and then that renders out. So there's the Sony Vegas portion of it. Now we come into Boujou, and this is the clip before. So what you would do is you go to import sequence right away when you open it up, when you open up Boujou, and you go to the folder where all the images were, and you are going to select the first clip on your in your folder, the very first clip. You double click on it and it comes in here. All you really need to do, if you cut it right, is you just select 59.94 for the frame rate. You apply. When you apply, the background here will pull up the video clip in here, and you'll see it. It won't be black anymore. But the frame rate is going to change back to 25 when you apply it, and you just need to change it again. And you got to click apply, and OK and apply will go away, and the only thing that'll be left is close. So once you're done with that, then you close it and you're all set. But since I already imported and I've done what I need to do now, is next is you see these red and yellow lines here. This is from track features. This is your next step after you've imported sequence of the clip. You click on track features, and you can either turn up your sensitivity for more points to select when you camera solve, or you just hit start with the sensitivity where it's given. I never increase the sensitivity. I don't see why I would. I never do. I mean, it just, to me, I think it's easier to not increase the sensitivity, but if you have better advice, then go for it. It's not that big of a deal. So then you start your track features. It'll take, possibly, depending on how fast your computer is or how many programs are open, it can take anywhere from a minute to 5. Um, but I already did this because I went and took a break and I had to restart this tutorial. So the next step is where we are at now, is camera solving. So what you do here is this all it does, and I always select optimize camera path smoothness right here, and all frames because we're doing the whole entire clip, and start. And this usually doesn't take too long. It just kind of, well, maybe it might take, it shouldn't take too long. I'll pause it and I will be back so you don't have to sit here that long. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I was taking care of business. Alright, so as you see, it's done camera solving, and we have all these yellow and blue points. Alright, now the next step in motion tracking, since we've tracked features and camera solved, is scene geometry. Very important. So we click on the scene geometry. I usually bring it over here. But you want to make sure you can see your screen. Now the first thing that you're going to do is add coordinate from hit. Click that, and what you're going to do, as you see right now, it says origin. What you're going to want to do is change this, and you're going to want to select the x-axis. But what I believe this is for, the type it is for, as we're doing right now for the x-axis, we are selecting 2 points on this track that are on an x-axis, and what x-axis is left to right. So we have to find 2 points that are almost identical in how would you say, like flat, or I can't think of the word right now. I'm just really tired. So we'll choose something up here because it's flat up here, and we'll choose a point, let's say that one. And once we choose those, it says 2 clean and 2 required, so we're gonna connect to selected. You must do that. Connect to selected, then you update coordinate from plane, and you always want to update coordinate from plane when you do a connect to selected, or any move that you want to do is just updating it. And now the next thing that you're going to do is add coordinate from hit, and you're going to come back here. Now it's selecting the top one, disconnected. You see I haven't selected any 2 points. These are the ones you selected, so this is your new one, but you need to change the type. A lot of times I've done that where I've accidentally selected 2 points for another axis, but I forgot to change it to the x-axis, so make sure you change it. And the next one we're going to do is the z-axis, and this is from front to back. Z is 3D. That's from front to back. When you're walking forward, it would be from point A, from where you started, to point B when you ended, when you're walking forward, something like that. That's the best way I can describe it. So we're going to want to find 2 points that we pass through that are easily in line. The only thing that I can find, truthfully, are these points right here, I believe, and then we're going to want to disconnect, control click. You want to control click. I always control click. So we disconnected the 2 points over there, and now we have these 2 points right here. You're going to want to connect to selected and update coordinate frame. And just because on the type of clip it is, I believe with all these, we don't do all these, but I think what they are for is depending on the clip. If you have a clip that goes up and down, say it's like an elevator perspective. If you're in an elevator and going up, you're going to want to do the y-axis because you're going up, you're moving up and down. This clip, we don't really move up and down a whole lot. We kind of stay parallel. I mean, we do move, up and down, but it's more of turning to left and right. So that's why we need the x-axis, because it's left and right, which is the x-axis. Now if we were to say, if we were to almost basically, if I were to climb this and start recording, we probably would want the y-axis in here. I'm not positively sure, but and the only thing that matters is from where you're planning on having your text. So this text, I'm planning on having it in air, hovering in air. I'm not planning on having it on the ground. And when you have things on the ground, that's when you need the origin, and you do an add coordinate from hint, and you select one point right where the text is going to be on the ground in the middle. So if I was going to have the text somewhere around here, I would focus obviously the camera work, kind of at like a 180 around the text, and select like maybe this point where the text I assume is going to be. But I'm not quite sure. And you can always just update coordinate frame. It doesn't hurt to punch it up a few times. All right, so we selected our points. We're not sure if they're 100% correct. They're probably not. That's when you add test object to see if the test object is in line. So we add the test object, move to the side, move this hole to the side, and we'll see if it stays in one spot. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good on all of this. Stays straight. Maybe we can select a different point. So we'll delete this one and try it over again. So we're gonna select, we'll select that one. Alright, connected, selected, update coordinate frame, and we'll add another test object. Alright, this seems a little better. It's kind of right, pretty much solid x-axis. It's pretty much straight. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it's pretty much left and right. It's not at an angle, so it looks pretty good. And you always want it to be, facing. If it's at an angle or it's really cockeyed, that's when you need to select different points. So right now it looks pretty darn good. Pretty sure we'll be all right with that. So you want to delete your test object, exit out of that, and we can close out of that. And this is motion track, ladies and gentlemen. You just successfully motion tracked your clip. Now next step we're going to do is going to go up here to export camera solve. Now since we're doing this for Cinema 4D, your export type is going to be changed to Cinema 4D file, and you're going to want to browse and find somewhere to save. It's going to be a little file type, so I'll just tutorial, and we'll save it to desktop. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so we have it saved to where we want it, Cinema 4D file. And now this is very important. You must do this scale scene by 100. I have no clue why it needs to do that, but it must do that. Always type in 100. It'll be at 1.00000. Must delete it, highlight it, get it out of there, and type in 100. Scale scene by 100. Always, 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 always. I don't know why. I've heard it from many people and other tutorials that I've watched. Scale scene by 100. And we can save. And it just saved a file to the desktop. Where is it? Tutorial right here. Alright, so we've just finished the Boujou portion. I talked pretty long. So I'll make another video for the Cinema 4D portion of this. Hope you guys enjoyed just the Boujou part, and you've got it all. And anything else you guys need from me, just leave a comment in the video below. And like it, because you like it, and you like me, and I helped you out, hopefully. And I can do other tutorials in the future, and I will be doing more tutorials in the future. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Link should be in the description, probably. It will be, and in a link in the video somewhere, probably in the left portion of the screen. Alright, I'm out.